G'day motor mechanics, Wes Zandt here from the Down Under Centre. So I'm putting this little video together so I can give you a bit of an understanding of how the motor mechanic skills assessment works for the purpose of migration. So who needs to do a skills assessment as a motor mechanic? Anyone who's looking to go on a skilled visa. So if you've spoken to anyone from our team or maybe someone else and you are required to get a skills assessment, generally it's for the 189, 190 and 491 visas. So any skilled visa, you are required to do it. So what is a skills assessment and who's eligible for a skills assessment? So a skills assessment for a motor mechanic is broken into two stages. The first stage is you need to prove on paper that you've got the necessary skills. The minimum requirement for this is you either have if you're from the UK, for example, you might have an NVQ level 3 and 3 years of paid work experience. So if you completed your apprenticeship and your apprenticeship was 3 years, at completion of that apprenticeship, you would have got your NVQ level 3. That time, you would have had enough work experience to be eligible for that. Okay, so if you hold an NVQ level 3, the 3 years can be pre or post qualification, as long as you've got the NVQ level 3. If you never completed an apprenticeship, not a problem. You just need to provide 5 years of full-time work experience. Now, when you provide this information, what we look for is pay documents, tax documents, photos, videos, references, detailed CV. So you're telling a story. You're saying, I'm a motor mechanic. I've completed an apprenticeship. I've been doing working in different garages. You don't have to be working for one employer. You can work for many different employers. Okay. One thing we need to remember: you have to prove industry currency to be eligible for a skills assessment, and the industry currency is 12 months in the last 36 months of full-time paid work experience. If you can tick those boxes and you can provide it financially, that's the first part of the skills assessment. The second part of the skills assessment is what we call a technical Skype interview. Now, the technical interview is done with one of our Australian qualified plumbers. They're also a trainer and assessor. So how does this work? You will do it via Zoom or Skype. You'll do it either your evening or morning, depending on the assessor and the time. We're running them on quite a regular basis. Okay, so we'll actually ask you when it comes time for the technical interview. Instead of you being told what time and date you need to do, we'll actually give you 3 options. Well, you give us 3 options, I should say, and we go back to the assessor and make it happen with them. So it's a technical interview. Look, the assessors aren't there to catch you out. They're there to tick boxes, okay? If you've got the necessary skills, then you're not going to have an issue with it. So if you are a motor mechanic, yeah, you're going to be absolutely fine. Okay, so the first part is you've got to prove on paper you've got the necessary skills, and the second part is you do your technical Skype interview. Again, it's a friendly chat. Now, who delivers this skills assessment? So Australian Trade Training College is TRA approved to deliver the skills assessments. We're based here in the UK. They're based from the Down Under Centre. Here, so feel free to give us a shout if you're in the UK. We want to send an email. We don't charge any money for the Down Under Centre doesn't charge any money for consultations, and we can also tell you exactly what's involved in the skills assessments for motor mechanics. Now, obviously, if you're looking to apply for a visa, do complete the points calculator, engage with someone from our team regarding that, because the last thing we want you to do is get a skills assessment if you're not eligible for a visa. Now, what do you receive at completion of the skills assessment? Not only will you receive the document you need for the visa, you're also going to receive your full Australian qualification, Certificate 3 as a motor mechanic. That's a big deal, guys. So we work with lots of employers around Australia that take on our motor mechanics. And having the qualification means you can actually apply for, it helps them insure you, etc. So you have the necessary skills to work as a motor mechanic under the Australian standards. And that's another reason why the skills assessment is so important, because that's what we're doing. We're transferring either no qualification and 5 years of paid work experience to an Australian qualification. Obviously, you get the skills assessment as well. Or if you've got the UK NVQ level 3, for example, that one over to the Australian qualification. Now, what is the cost of a skills assessment? The cost of the skills assessment is 1,280 Australian dollars for the documentary assessment. you do not pay Australia Trade Training College, you pay TRA. We can arrange that payment for you and show you what you need to do. As soon as payment's made, then Australia Trade Training College is able to do that documentary assessment. We'll then go back and deem you competent if you've successfully provided the necessary information. And then for the technical interview, there is a fee of 2,000 Australian dollars. Okay. These fees are set by the Department of Immigration, and then these services are just delivered outside of Australia by Australia Trade Training College. Okay. Regarding Australian registration for motor mechanics, there's obviously boards and everything around Australia that you can work with, but again, we do issue you your full Australian Certificate 3 as a motor mechanic, so depending on who you're looking to work for, employers in Oz, anything that's Mercedes, Volvo, there's like BMW, there's lots of, it's European and UK, even Irish skilled motor mechanics. There's always been a demand for you guys in Australia, and I can see it for the foreseeable future. So it's good news when you're there, and it's not just in certain areas. So sometimes we have occupations that might be wanted in certain areas. As a motor mechanic, it is Australia wide. Now, the Down Under Centre, we can support you with finding jobs. We don't promise people jobs, but we have a product called the DUC Employment Hub where we connect migrants to employers. So guys, if you're interested in migrating to Australia and you're a motor mechanic, please do reach out to us. We can run through your visa options. As I mentioned, the Down Under Centre, they don't charge any money for consultations. We can run through the process with you, see where you're at, and also explain to you what's involved in the skills assessment and to take the necessary skills. Please remember, if you're looking for a skilled visa, it's done on a points-based system. It sounds easy when you fill in a points calculator, but we don't want you paying for the skills assessment if it's not going to lead to a visa. And at the same time, we have to remember that the skills assessment is what's required before you are willing to put in expression of interest. So if you're looking to do the visa part yourself, absolutely fine. More than happy to get you through the skills assessment. If you want migration advice, we can also assist. So good luck in Oz, and we'd love to get you out there. All right, cheers guys, bye.